Good morning. It's the Call Flow Radio Show, and you're on the air.
It is indeed time for the Call Flow Radio Show. Your time right now, it is 8:07. And today's date, it is July 8th. We are slowly chucking along this month. This is rolling on by. Hope you guys are doing well. John Staten is absent today. He is actually on a mini vacation.
What are you talking about? I'm John Staten.
That's the worst John Staten. No, I'm kidding. John Staten, how you doing today, sir?
I'm doing good. I feel like putting you down, Noah.
That's pretty much what John does.
Naps.
All right, this is already a very lively show. I can't barely. This is great. I don't know. Look, Sean, I'll be honest with you. I am. This is my first cup of coffee today. Today, my first cup of coffee I'm drinking. And you might ask me what happened. And you got the Pepsi, of course. So we're just kind of hanging out. John is absent, and his absence is felt here today. I think. Do you feel it in the room?
I feel like it got 70% less funny.
Wow, 70? Really?
Yeah,
wow, that's
I feel
compliment
like
to him.
I feel like that's kind of the life
he
of
brings,
Call Flow.
Yeah.
He brings the funnies for a lot of it.
Wow. That is incredible. Well, Henry also brings the funnies, and he's the other percent of Call Flow.
I'm surprised we
haven't heard. Yeah,
he's usually like at the very top of it.
That is correct, Sean. He usually does call in the first 2 minutes. Sometimes he calls in before the actual show, which is always fun. We got to tell him to call back. Sometimes when we have a guest, but hopefully he's
there it is.
Look at that.
Henry. That's probably Henry.
All right, we'll see who it is. Caller, you're on the air.
All right, so are you. Good morning.
Good morning, Henry.
How are you doing, John?
Oh, John is not here today, Henry. It's Noah and the intern, Sean Winder, filling in today.
How's it going?
Oh, okay. All right. I was going to ask John about the store they used to run in Dillon, but I'll have to save that for another time, since he's not there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. His daddy, his granddaddy, and maybe his great-grandmother ran a store, and they used to babysit me.
Yeah, wow.
After school, I'd go to the store up there, and my granddaddy would pick me up later. But anyway, we'll save that for a little later.
Yeah, no, I'm interested in hearing that, though. That sounds very interesting, Henry.
Yeah. You must not believe what horses may tell you, because they've been known to carry tails.
Ooh.
Even in the saddle, sometimes they have tails. How about that part? I just threw that in.
That was good. That was a good one.
All right. The phone company had a shortage of long distance. That's bad. Man started to sell his hens, but then he chickened out.
Don't you hate to hear it, man?
Don't you hate to hear it?
Yeah.
The best knight that King Arthur ever had was Sir Lancelot.
Okay.
You got that
There's
battle, right?
so many ways, many different directions to go with these, Henry.
I don't know. The preacher ran a shoe repair shop, and that's where many souls were saved. Anyway, lady told me one day, she said, Henry, if I had a dog as ugly as you are, I'd shave his behind and teach him to walk backwards. Now, that don't sound too bad when I tell it about myself. But if you told people that about me, I'd be upset. It kind of makes sense, doesn't it? He was so tired, the tongue of his shoes was hanging out. Yeah. He had a kitten, and the kitten was asleep on a caterpillar, and her friends tracked her there. It's a little farm machinery joke, whatever. Very small, it'll never grow up. I have a story that I'd like to share.
Sure.
It is true. When I was in Buckingham County High School, perhaps my closest friend was a fellow classmate named Ray Worrell from up near the James River. Now, I could not play sports or anything because of the polio history, but I loved bluegrass music, country music, gospel music, and so did Ray. Now, Ray was a much better musician than me, but he did not care about playing sports, even though he was 6 feet 9 inches tall. You know, and most people get him into basketball, but he was not interested.
Wow.
But he and I were interested in the same things. After graduation, Ray went to work at the General Electric Company at Salem, Virginia. And over 40 years later, he retired. During all that time, I was at WFLO here in Farmville. And then Ray came down with an incurable sickness. And I called him, and that final conversation I had with him, I talked about salvation. And he quickly defended Jesus at the cross and assured me that if he went first, that he'd be waiting for me just inside the pearly gates. And then Ray said to me, Henry, if you go before I do, then you wait for me by the gates, and we'll be friends, and friends forever together. And that was, and he died a few days later up in Salem. But anyway, somehow I just wanted to share that.
Yeah.
His family has been my friend Lester Worrell, one of my good friends, a fine guitar player. He played the cross-picking guitar.
Mm.
For those that don't understand what that means. And Ray, he told me that Ray was the best rhythm guitar player he'd ever played with, and Lester had played with lots of bands.
Mm.
But he said Ray was the best rhythm guitar player he'd ever seen. And so, anyway, and I shared, I would go home with him sometimes after school. They had a large family up there on the James River. There was a total of 27 children, and some of them were half-brothers. In fact, the daddy was married 3 times and had children by each one, 9 children by each wife. And I got to meet him late in his life. He also had a great sense of humor. And though he'd never been to Arizona, I don't think, but he did have a sense of humor. So
well, thanks.
just reminiscing about, did you start to ask me something?
Oh no, I just want to thank you for sharing that story. That was really sweet.
Well, I know a lot of people remember him. He was tall, but he was a great friend.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you all, and I hope sharing another story with you. Will John be there tomorrow?
He's coming back, I believe, Thursday. So he won't be here tomorrow. It'll be me and Chris.
Oh.
But then Thursday he should be back.
Oh, okay.
So.
All right, I'll share the story that involves his ancestors.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right.
All right, thank you.
Well, thank you, Henry. You have a
so
good
much,
one.
Noah.
Okay.
You too, Noah.
Oh, bye. All right, that was Henry Fulcher, Sean.
Alrighty, that was Henry.
The one and only Henry Fulcher, a man with a book of stories, just like thousands of stories. Incredible.
Indeed.
It's always nice to hear from Henry, for sure. So, yeah, today is July the 8th. Phone lines are wide open. Give us a call today, 434-392-09. Hold on, I said that wrong. 434-394-0924. I'm thinking of Henry's number. Henry usually gives out his number, but he didn't this time. And so, anyways, yeah, phone lines are open. Call that number, 434-394-0924, if you would like to connect with me and Sean Winder, the intern. Sean, how many people in your lifetime, just roughly, have called you Winder instead of Winder?
It actually happens less than you think. I've only really had that situation in school systems
Yep.
specifically. Even in the yearbooks, they'd misspell it, and I'd actually start doing a bunch of stuff just to, like, mess with them for it. For example, they put Wilder in a yearbook at one point.
Like
and
Gene Wilder.
I don't know who that is.
Ugh, Sean.
Because I saw Wilder, I immediately just, like, made a whole character off of it, put on, like, sunglasses, leather jacket, started getting, like, a raspy voice, and just went like, hey, you took my moped. I want it back. And started acting like I was, like, some kind
Wild.
of John Wick or
Yeah.
something like that.
That's fun.
And just go like, yeah, don't mess with Sean Wilder. Like,
Wow.
They also misspelled my first name. They did the SEAN stuff instead of the SHAWN thing. And, like, no matter what, and, like, I know that there are different, like, cultures that spell it that way and pronounce it that way, but to me, as well as, like, the rest of my family, they think that's seen.
Mm-hmm.
They think
yeah.
that's seen. And so
Yeah.
anytime we see SEAN, we immediately go seen.
Yeah.
But yeah, when it comes to Winder, it's like elementary school, happened over the intercom, happened with teachers. Middle school, happened over the intercom, happened with teachers. High school, didn't happen a lot. It was just yearbook committees, and people literally thought that the students running it were just trying to mess with me, so I messed with them back.
Nice.
Then college, it happened with one theater teacher, and no matter what, like, I always said Winder, and for, like, the first 2-3 weeks, she just kept going, like, it should be Winder, to, like, the rest of the students and everything is, like,
Yeah.
a joke.
That's funny. That's
Yeah.
good. That's good. And speaking of plays, Sean, what has been your favorite play over at the Longwood Theater that you've done, that you've worked on? Do you have a favorite?
It's actually hard to say. I've enjoyed a lot of them. We have a call.
We do have a call, and we're going to actually harp back to that question. But first, we're going to say, hello, caller. You are on the air.
Hey, Sean, do your John impression again. That was great.
Hello, Noah. Tonight on Call Flow, we're going to see, how do you pronounce Mario? Come on, Noah.
Can you do
tell
his
us.
laugh?
Do his laugh?
Yeah.
Sorry, that's my. Yeah, it's kind of it's unbounded. It's crazy. It's kind of sounding. Is that anywhere close to accurate, caller?
Maybe a little bit.
Just a little bit.
He got the part that it's higher. Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Sean Wilder, you're sitting in there this morning.
Yeah, we got Sean Wilder in the studio today. Very cool.
And Noah Massage.
No massage.
Massage.
I still think a good idea for a show for you would be Massage with Massage, where you play jazz.
I kind of just massage their ears with my jazz selection. Now that's a good idea. Massage with massage.
Well, John might have you host the Bluegrass show if they decide to bring that back.
Oh, I know he will. That's gonna be a fun day for me. No. Yeah.
You had the Back Sydney Band in the studio, and you seem to enjoy them.
Well, I don't consider them. I consider them more folky, you know. Like bluegrass is, and I guess they did sing some bluegrass songs, so have no leg to stand on right now. But I don't know. To me, it didn't feel like when I hear bluegrass, I think of like hardcore banjos being you know, just like funky sounding music, and I'm not for that. I'm not about that. But you know, to each their own.
And then, well, this month y'all had a good performer in the studio.
Yes, we had Starfire live. Did you enjoy that?
Yeah, she had a good singing voice.
Yeah, she sang Journey. She's a very good performer. I will give you that. I was pleasantly surprised because I didn't hear her sing beforehand, which maybe I should not be admitting to that. But I didn't know what she sounded like. But I was taken back.
She said she loves Christmas music, so I think at Christmas time you ought to do a special Farmville Spotlight and invite her back in to do some of those.
You know what? We might just do that. That is a good idea. Not gonna lie. All right, that's good.
And then if you did your jazz show at Christmas time, you'd be playing all the Kenny G Christmas songs.
This would be true.
What kind of music is Sean into?
It's actually a mix of things. For the most part,
Do you
it's
like
like
older stuff at all?
older stuff.
Yeah.
When it comes to older stuff, I'd say the oldest song I'd like would be Little Richard's Tutti Frutti, as well as like a few of his other things. I've also
Wow,
listened to
that's all
some
the way
of
back
the.
in the 50s.
I'm sorry.
That's all the way back in the 50s.
Oh, I know, but like Disney had actually featured some of his music and stuff like Brave Little Toaster, things like that. So I had heard it as like a kid, as well as my teen years when I was like rewatching it with family and everything. So then I looked it up, as well as the fact that Elvis had also performed his own version of it, and that was shown off in his documentary film that came out in around 2018, 2019.
The one where Tom Hanks was the colonel and all that.
I think so.
That was actually a good movie.
Mm-hmm. I've
Yeah.
also listened to a little bit of the Beach Boys. Mostly I get around. My cousin listens to the Beatles, so I've heard some of that.
Noah likes the Beatles.
Love the Beatles.
And now
Love-
if you were to ever bring my
You still
cousin
have
in
the
here.
CDs in your car of the Beatles.
I do indeed, actually. I do have a couple of CDs. The Beatles. But,
Does Katie like the Beatles?
Katie, she loves the Beatles.
Are you being facetious?
No, I'm serious. No, like we both love the Beatles.
Now, does she like country?
No. We have very similar music taste. I'll put it that way. Me and Katie are very in sync when it comes to music, in her flavor. There's a couple of songs where she doesn't really care for them, but I might dig them. But for the most part, our genres are pretty much aligned perfectly, which is kind of funny.
Hey, Sean, one Friday morning, Noah was not there, and John said that Noah was not listening, and that his eyes were closed and he was sleeping in, and in fact, he was listening.
Mm-hmm. I was intently listening. I was actually listening right outside the studio. I had my car parked out there with the radio on, being like, "This son of a gun!" Like,
I think Chris Wood then said, "Look who just walked in, John, Noah." I missed the Call Flow show yesterday.
Oh man, yeah, we noticed you didn't call in. We felt your absence yesterday, and we were kind of curious about that. Were you, still recovering from this big 4th of July weekend?
Yes,
Okay,
I was.
interesting. I won't go into specifics, but do you want to share a little bit about your weekend, how it was, or?
Nah,
Wow.
I think not.
Okay. Wow. Very private. Very
At
private.
least you didn't get kicked out of a baseball game this weekend like a couple weeks ago.
That is true. I'm trying to live better. I'm trying to do better. I'm trying to be a good example for my cat, Jeff.
Maybe that's where John is. He's trying to bail you out.
Too much Star Strike Red 100s.
What?
Too much
Yeah.
strike red 100s.
It's not.
Sean, have you heard any of Ron Moody's shows yet?
I
Oh.
don't think so.
You haven't heard them?
No?
He sometimes plays Little Richard on the one on Fridays.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Good to know. I'll definitely listen in now.
They play your weather report sometimes during them.
We do.
Yeah, those
Last
are
Friday, that was
those
that
are
was
kind of
definitely Noah's weather.
yeah, we pre-record those, and whenever we leave the studio and everything, they play on a loop on a certain time.
Party Fife had to put a few words in there.
Cock-a-doodle-doo. That's the wrong one. Goodness gracious. I'm getting... John is shaking his head somewhere.
man. Glad to see you're warming up to the sound effects, Noah.
Oh, yes, indeed.
Are you going to play the Taylor one?
No, never. I'm never going to play that one.
I don't know. The caller requested it.
Was that a request? Was that a request caller? Or was that a more inquiry?
Yes, it was.
Customer's
Okay.
always right, Noah. Customer's always right.
All right. Well, I hope you're happy, caller. Here you go.
I love that. This morning that John wasn't behind the controls, so he just impersonated the sound.
Yeah. I mean, like, I don't. We don't even need the sound effect. If John can do it, Sean can do it. I can't do it. I tried, but I don't even. I
do
don't
it,
want to
Sean?
do it.
Well, actually, you did do it after we got completely off the broadcast.
I did.
Like you did that when
Yeah.
we were on the
Yeah.
broadcast, but right after.
It comes and goes, Sean. It comes and goes. I can't make it happen, man. I don't know.
Sean, you can do it.
Oh my goodness gracious! I'm
That was
gonna
great.
that ear-piercing sound.
Great job.
Oh, thanks. This is yeah.
Wait, Sean can also do the WGBH sound.
Is that the one that goes like?
Yes. It does sound like that.
Yeah, that's fun. That's fun. Okay, I gotta stop.
He really keeps putting that in there. He really wants to talk right now.
Anytime I hear that tone, I actually think of He-Man, the classic He-Man. Like I know the tone is different, but it kind of gives the same vibe.
Yeah. Well, on that note, it's getting crazy in here. We gotta go soon. But before we go, we gotta play that WGBH one more time. So let's go ahead and.
What is the word?
Sorry, we're being invaded by aliens right now. All right, caller, we have to go. That was very fun. We appreciate your time, and
What
your.
just happened with that?
I think the system had a malfunction. No, I'm kidding. I just played it like 5 times.
That was more than 5 times.
It was okay, 6. All right.
That was fun.
Well, thank you for calling in, caller, and we appreciate it, and we hope to be hearing from you soon.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
Goodbye. All right, that was Potato Man, Potato Caller calling in. I apologize for the listening audience. I know that was a lot, but you got to keep the customer satisfied, and Potato was wanting to hear that, so I just went ahead and maybe, as they call it, overboard. I went overboard with the sound effect, and I'm sincerely, I would like to apologize to the Academy, and we got to go to the weather forecast now, but This edition of the weather being brought to you by Harold W. Collins Clearing and Grading, located at 2113 Cumberland Road in Farmville.
Harold W. Collins Clearing and Grading has been helping to build Southside and Central Virginia since 1960, providing all excavation, general contracting, and hauling needs. 5 miles north of Farmville, 2113 Cumberland Road, at the intersection of 45 and Range Tavern Road. Call 392-6010 or stop by Harold W. Collins Clearing and Grading.
And starting off with the weather forecast for today, a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms after 3 p.m., increasing clouds with a high around 95, and southwest winds between 3 and 6 miles an hour. Chance of precipitation is at 20% tonight. Showers and thunderstorms likely again with a high or low around 71 with light south winds likely. Chance of precipitation is at 50% Wednesday. A slight chance of rain before 11 a.m. With a high around 92, heat index values as high as 100 degrees, calm winds likely, and Wednesday night, showers and thunderstorms again with a low around 71. Last but not least, Thursday, a slight chance of showers before 8 a.m., and then a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms between 8 a.m. and 2 p.m. with a high around 88 in Farmville. Currently, right now in Farmville, your temperature outside, it is 80 degrees out right now. Humidity is at 88%. Your wind speed 6 miles an hour, and precipitation is at 0% in downtown Farmville. That's going to wrap it up for the weather forecast for right now. We're going to go ahead and get into the birthday calendar. Actually, current weather conditions, it is 80 degrees out right now. Humidity is at 88%, wind speed 6 miles an hour, and precipitation is at 0% in downtown Farmville. Once again, the weather brought to you by Harold W. Collins Clearing and Grading. Call them today at 434-392-6010. Now, time for your birthday calendar, brought to you by Creative Electrical Contractors, located at 1907 East 3rd Street in Farmville.
Creative Electrical Contractors specializes in commercial and industrial projects and offers quality work at competitive prices. CEC is a licensed Class A contractor in Virginia and North Carolina. Creative Electrical Contractors has been in business for 25 years, still committed to the values that were established when the company opened in 1998. Integrity, quality workmanship, and timely delivery. CEC, located at 1907 East 3rd Street, Farmville. You can contact CEC at 434-392-3802 or at creative-electrical.com.
All right, Sean, why don't you go ahead and take it away with the birthdays?
Alrighty, for July 8th, Tuesday, we have Howard Huff.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Just Howard Huff, that's
Just
it?
Howard Huff. I don't see any.
There's no other
extra
birthdays,
notes.
really? Wowee.
Just Howard Huff.
I'm going to check the email real fast. Why don't you go ahead and let people know how they can get those birthdays to us?
All right, you can either email us or I don't know the phone number for the birthdays. This is the same
It's
as
the
Call
same
Flow?
phone number, yes,
All right,
indeed.
same as Call Flow. So in that case, 434-394-0924.
They can also email us at birthdays@wflo.net or on our website under the on-air mentions page. You can submit birthdays directly from our website. So a couple of different ways of getting those to us. And once again, the birthday calendar brought to you by Creative Electrical Contractors. If it's not right, they'll make it right. Call them today at 434-392-2802. So that's going to wrap it up for that. And we are back. Phone lines are wide open, and they're already lighting up. Look at that. All right. And we'll go ahead and take this caller. Caller, you're on the air.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I have another birthday to put on for the day.
Absolutely. We'd be happy to take a birthday.
Okay, it's my granddaughter. Her name is Alexis Britt of Palmville.
All right. Is that Renee Alexis?
Pardon?
You said Alexis, Renee Alexis?
Alexis Britt, B-R-I-T.
Oh, okay. Alexis Britt of Farmville.
Yeah,
Okay.
of Palmville.
All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
All right. Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye. All right. So Alexis Britt is also celebrating today. Another name for the birthday calendar, Sean.
Happy birthday, Alexis.
And once again, the phone lines are open. 434-394-0924 is the phone. And look at that once again. Lighting up today. Okay. And caller, you're on the air.
Hi, I am Shannon, Sean's fiance. Hello.
Hello, Shannon. How are you today?
I'm doing well. How are you guys doing?
We're doing good. We're doing good.
That's cool. So I have a song request, if you guys don't mind.
Sure. We can take it down on a song request.
Could you guys play Billy Ocean's Suddenly?
Billy Ocean Suddenly. Gotcha. Yes. We definitely have that one in the system. Guaranteed. All right.
Customer satisfaction, Noah.
Okay. We'll go ahead and play that after the show today. Very cool. All right.
Great. Thank you so much.
Appreciate
Sean, I can hear you laughing in the background.
So, you have any questions for Massage here?
Not really.
Not really.
This is really my first time listening in, so
Okay, very
yeah, you
Noah,
guys
do
seem
you
like
wanna-
you're having fun.
Well, yes. Well, Shannon, I appreciate you calling in. Well, I do have to ask. I mean, I only get a rare opportunity like this once a year, maybe. But how did I got to ask you this? How did you and Sean meet? What's the story there? I mean, this.
Okay. So, actually, we met at our college. He decided he was going to try and cheer some people up and run around dressed as Spider-Man, and that's how I met him.
Wow. Wow. That's incredible. Sean, way to go.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Very cool, man. Very cool. All right. Well, that's all I got. That is a very cool story. Wow.
Yeah. So I wish you guys luck today, and hope you guys have a good day.
All right. Well, thank you so
you,
much
you
for
too.
calling in, Shannon. Appreciate it. You have a good one too.
Right.
We'll go ahead and play that song.
You as well.
Bye bye.
Yeah. Bye.
And we just got Shannon on the phone. Sean, that's pretty special, man. You know,
Yeah.
That's pretty special. Having your fiance call up
I know it.
while you're on the air. That's like wow.
Billy Ocean, suddenly you
We got it.
You understand the excitement now?
I get it, Sean. Yeah, this is very. I mean, like, yeah, yeah. I think you should play this though. I don't. I would feel weird playing that.
right,
That's
all
that's your song to play.
All right, but it's right after the show, so I guess I'm announcing that, and then the rest of the hour is.
Well,
yours.
Sean, we will see. And the phones, I gotta say,
The phone is hot.
I haven't seen lights light up like this since Christmas 2005. All right, caller, you're on the air.
And the lines are lighting up today, aren't they?
Oh my goodness, like a Christmas tree shivering in the forest.
So the cat's away.
Yes, he is indeed.
So you think he's listening?
I thought about that, and I almost wanted to be like, and if John's listening, feel free to call in, but I didn't say that because I don't think he is listening. But like, he might be, but if I had to guess on his vacation, he's probably doing everything other than that. So like, if I had to guess, I think he might be even cleaning his bedroom out.
Well, I know when he drives home,
Yeah,
he listens.
he does
in
listen
on, like,
to
his
when-
radio, but like if he's in like where he says he's going, then
fiance.
like he can't really tune in on the radio. He'd have to pull up the live stream and everything. I don't think he.
I don't
does that
think he.
very often.
I think he's. He's going to a concert. I think today or something, or just on a little mini vacay. So we wish him the best of everything, and yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to ask you, what do you think he's doing right now?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, if he is listening, he's cringing or rolling over in his car. I was gonna say grave, but that doesn't work.
Oh, okay.
But,
all right. Well, I thought it would be something like.
Wow. That was great.
Well, I I hear she came and she gave without taking. So you know, this was probably the only time we could ever get away with this.
That is true. You know, Mike, go ahead and. That's funny. That is good.
Yeah, and if he's driving, he probably drove into a ditch right now.
That's
oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah, so did you guys say that they shot the fireworks off of the roof of a building on the 3rd?
You know what they did? The town hall in Farmville next to the courthouse, that's where they've been shooting off fireworks. And I got to say, I took many photos of that. And this is the 3rd or 4th, maybe 5th year they've been doing it. I want to say probably 3rd or 4th. They used to do it at the airport in Farmville, and it was, you know, big thing. People would come out to there. But I understand they kind of then, like, wanted it to be like an in-town thing. They wanted it to be in the town of Farmville, not like you have to drive to this place to go see the fireworks. So they started shooting it off at the town hall building, but every photo I took, it looks like the building is erupting in flames. Like it just looks, it doesn't look like fireworks. It looks like just fires on top of the building, even though, I mean, that's where they shot them off. But it just like, for some reason, every photo I captured, I was like, man, this looks like the building is just on fire.
Well, that is crazy, man.
Yeah.
I have never heard of that before.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've shot off my share of fireworks, and you know, I've had so many mishaps, and it's like, oh my gosh, you know, that's just a disaster waiting to happen.
Liability.
I'm sure they had to like clear people away for some kind of blast radius or something.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they did. There was a little kind of caution tape surrounding the front of the building, so people couldn't stand directly underneath the building, but they could get pretty close. I will say, last year when I went out to the Farmville fireworks, I was standing, and I was far away too, right? Like I was probably like 20 feet away from like the actual building. I was like at a food cart or something, but I was like watching the fireworks go off, and I just felt this ash, like literally like remnants of the fireworks was just like landing on my skin. These like black specks of like, I don't know, combustion and just like from the fireworks or whatever. And it was kind of crazy. I didn't feel that this year though. There was nothing like in the air falling from the sky from the fireworks. So whatever they I think they've been working on this and tweaking the recipe for, you know, blowing up fireworks on top of town hall. So
oh man, you know, every year I used to drive down to south of the border and fill up the back of my car and my trunk with multi-shot cakes, and then we'd light them all off in my backyard in a subdivision. And one year, the first year actually, I didn't realize that you really should liquid nail the cakes down to like plywood, and we had one fall over, and with every shot it would spin around, so it was like it was like Russian roulette. Everyone started running. It was like crazy, man. I mean we had rounds bouncing off of the houses, and this one guy, poor guy, he was sitting in this chair, this lawn chair, and one of them went right in between his legs and exploded. And the man didn't even flinch. You know, he was my neighbor Calvin, and it's like that was pretty impressive, man. You know. Yeah.
Now, fireworks are no joke. They can be fun, but also life-threatening to some extent.
We used to put on about a 20-minute show, choreographed to music, and it turned out pretty well, man, until the cops shut us down one year, and then we had to stop. So,
was this a free show, or were you selling tickets a little bit?
Free show,
wow.
Free show. Back then, it was about $900 to fill up my Crown Vic, back seat and trunk. And it was funny because I would be driving back, smoking a cigarette, and it's like, okay, so if this car catches on fire, what do I do? Yeah. You know, and I figured I'd just pull it off into the ditch and just run.
Exactly. The worst thing that could happen is the fireworks start early. You know, that's.
Yeah, right on the side of 95.
There you go.
And there goes my poor car.
There you go.
Oh, man. All right. Well, also, I've been wondering, did you ever get that desktop up and running?
You know, we got it running, and I went ahead. I was like, this is great. This is going to be amazing. We'll use this as a spare computer, maybe for the stream or something. It works. It boots up. But I do have a suspicious feeling now that when this was at John's house now, and it went through a thunderstorm, it blew the PCU, the power supply unit. And I have a suspicion when it blew the power supply unit, it may have also blew certain components of the computer, because I'll give you an example. The DVI port worked, so like I could get like a display from the DVI, but the HDMI had no signal. I tried 1,000 different monitors, nothing. The HDMI was just not working. Also, the Ethernet port in the back of the computer also not working at all, didn't light up, didn't recognize like there was any Ethernet port connected to the computer. So I have a feeling like it may have blew some other hardware components. Now, I was going to still use it for something, but I got it up and running, and I was like, holy cannoli, this thing is slow. And I upgraded it with some RAM, and it's still, it's just, it's kind of sitting in the back right now. It's sitting in production. It's just taking a nap back there. But it does work, technically. So I did resurrect it to some extent. If John had any personal information he needed to get off of there, he could. But for the most part, I mean,
good.
I think it needs like a new hard drive, probably a new processor to some extent, and better, RAM. But we did get it working again.
Oh, okay. All right. Impressive. Sounds like the motherboard took a hit.
Yeah. Definitely some components got, and also it didn't help that like when I looked inside of it, it was just there was like 8 inches of dust. Like it looked like more comfortable than my blankets. Like I wanted to take that dust layer and use it as a blanket at night. It was like this wool kind of Anyways.
Okay, all right, yeah. And one last thing, Sean, I was listening yesterday afternoon.
Yes,
you sound great on the air, man. You're doing a good job.
Thank you.
Okay, all right, boys. Well, I'm punching out.
All right, man. Okay, take it easy. Talk to you soon. All right.
Okay, all right.
Bye. All right, that was Todd. No, Paul. His name's not Todd. Paul, Mr. Paul Barlow, calling in, so we appreciate his call.
Never thought I'd see the day I get compliments from Duke Nukem.
Yeah, that does sound like Duke Nukem now you mention it. That's kind of funny. All right. Wow. So, your time right now, it is 8:49, and the phone lines are wide open once again. If John Staten is listening, I'll throw it out there. Feel free to give us a call. You know where to call. You know what number it is. So, and Sean, you will be playing Suddenly, I believe, after the show.
Yeah.
Billy Ocean. All right. Very cool. Very cool. All right. Yes. And so what are your plans for the rest of the week, Sean? You got any weekend plans?
Honestly, nothing big this weekend. I'm finally finishing up that math course that I've been taking over the summer.
Yeah.
And then just kind of reporting into the internship course to go like, hey, this is what I've been doing at the radio station and everything. Give me grades, such and such. But for the most part, I don't really plan on going home, though that could probably change the moment my family goes, hey, buddy, can you come in this weekend? We know your class is about to end. Can you just come in? We'll go see Superman, go see something.
Yeah.
But weekend wise, no. I'm probably just gonna stay put in my dorm.
Okay.
For a while. And,
maybe make a burger or something.
Possibly. I still have a surplus of food I need to get through before I start buying more burgers.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. Well, all right. That sounds good, Sean. Yeah. Well, very cool. Very cool. And all right. That's all I got. I'm as far as my weekend goes. I just doing some cleaning around the house, Sean. I got to do some cleaning around the house. I got to clean underneath my fridge, which is always fun. That's something you don't think about. You probably do it once a year. If anything, like once every 2 years, you clean underneath the fridge. Oh boy, So.
No, I think the scarier thing is if you ever have to unplug the fridge to move it from one place
because
to another.
the you can die from touching the.
No,
Okay.
nothing like that. More so because all thaws out. Like, you think you know the exact moment that you can unplug it without any issues, but, like,
Yep.
because it all thaws out, it starts getting filled with water.
Yep.
And then after you clear it out, you think maybe it's going to be done. And then the very next day, there's even more water just coming out of it
Yeah.
and everything.
Oh, boy. That is a terrible situation.
Yeah.
No, I always hated touching those, like the prongs from that get plugged into the wall. Like the power cord for the fridge, but it's like the big one. It's like military grade. It's like this big, and then you pull it out and it's big prongs. You know what I'm talking about?
No, I do not. Then again, I've never owned like one of the huge fridges.
Yeah.
I've only really done
Sure.
mini fridges, so
Sure,
for the
okay,
most
so,
part,
yeah,
I only
those
either
plug-
get like the 3-prong
Yeah,
thing
yeah,
that you'd
yeah,
see
yeah.
on surge protectors, or you get the
Sure.
2-prong.
I'm talking about like fridges have this and washer and dryers have this, where it's like a massive prong that you need like a special power outlet in your house to plug it in. But if
Looks
you bulky and big, but the thing is, I've always heard if you touch the metal accidentally, you could die because it's so much power being put through.
I
Those
feel like
things.
that's the case for a lot of things, though.
That's
'Cause
true.
I used to have an old TV. It was one of those like gigantic,
yeah.
From the floor to the ceiling,
Yep.
kind of CRT TVs. It took forever before my dad and I finally got rid of the thing, but it would have issues sometimes. You turn it on, it'd start flickering. So you'd have to unplug it for a while, hold down the power button, hope to God it works, and then like that's that. But sometimes, because of like the grip on that thing, you try and like unplug it from the surge protector, and
Yeah.
like if you touch the metal at all, you'd occasionally feel it shock you and just like
Wow.
feel it vibrating like through
Yep.
your whole body. It was insane. I'm on one hand, I'm kind of glad we got rid of it. On the other hand, there's part of me that wishes we maybe kept it, because CRTs are better for like the old school
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah,
games
for
and
sure.
such. Versus
No, I totally agree. Hey, speaking of old school, you know what's old school? Cows. And you know what today is?
what's today?
It's Cow Appreciation Day, Sean. Tell a cow you appreciate it today. Try to don't break into anybody's field and pet a cow. But it is the second Tuesday in July is considered Cow Appreciation Day, and I appreciate cows a lot for what they give us.
I'd like to
New
give a
York
shout out.
strips. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'd like to give a shout out to the Chick-fil-A
Yes.
cow, the one that has the eat more chicken.
That's right. Okay, cool. All right, very nice, very nice. All right, it is also Freeze Pop Day, National Freeze Pop Day. Sean, what are your thoughts on Freeze Pops?
I like those basic ones that you could get for like $2 at the Food Lion, where they're like rectangular, and it's like you got the grape one, the blue one, the green apple one, the pink one, the yellow one. But I've never really been fond of like the Rocket Pops or the kinds that are like basically on sticks. When it comes to those, I kind of prefer the ones that have like the vanilla ice cream and then there's some kind of coating on it, like Oreo or Eclair, stuff like that.
No, I feel you, man. Yeah. Well, that's very cool. Once again, phone lines are open. 434-394-0924 is the number to call in to the Call Flow Radio Show. John Staten is absent today. He is missing. He is on vacation, actually, so he is missed today. But filling in, we have Sean Winder and myself, Noah Massarge. We are here at the studio. Sean, what do you think about Altoids? Are you a fan of Altoids? Are they too strong for you?
Can you specify what Altoids are?
They come in a tin can like this.
Yeah.
It's about this big. It's about the size, if I had to guess, if I had to take just a wild guess, it's about the size of a wallet and or like it kind of looks like this. It's like a 5th generation iPod, if anybody has one of these. It's about this big, but they sell them at gas stations. They sell them at Walmart, and it's a little tin can. It says Altoids on the top. It comes in red and green, and you open it up, and there's like this paper. This paper that you move. You have to move the paper out of the way to grab a mint. They're very strong. They're strong mints. Have you seen this before?
Possibly.
It says on the tin, curiously strong. And then when you open it up, the paper has like writing on it, and it says "Say Uncle" because like it's so hot, it's so strong. You're like, ah.
No, I've I've never.
You've
had
never
anything
seen
like that. Like
Altoids?
when it comes to mints, I'm very peculiar. I've always been icebreakers
Okay.
kind of person. Whether it's like the basic hard candy or if it's the cubed gum that they have. I don't remember what my first time having them are. I think my grandmother might have had some sitting around, and I just tried one or two, or something along those lines. But oh yeah, I've seen those.
Yeah.
I've seen the Altoids, but I've never like had.
Yeah, you
any
never had an Altoid. Wow.
No, I've had Tic Tacs, I've had peppermints, and I've had icebreakers. I've always been for the icebreakers.
Interesting. Okay. Well, Interesting.
Kind of surprised we haven't heard from first time.
You know,
caller.
FTC, it's been a minute. He might be in Maryland. He goes to Maryland occasionally. We don't hear from him for periods of time, but that is curious. Well, phone numbers are, the phone line is open. 434-394-0924 is the number to call in to the Call Flow Radio Show. July 8th is your date today, and I got to say,
There we go.
Wow. Isn't that interesting? Well, caller, you're on the air.
I have a birthday to add to your calendar for today.
All right, we're ready to take it down, Betty.
Anne Marie Nixon Howard
Anne Marie Nixon Howard.
from Farmville.
Wow.
Real
Anne
sweet gal.
Very nice. Is Anne Marie her first name and then Nixon in the middle?
Nixon was her maiden name.
Oh.
She was a Nixon. And she married Jeff Howard.
Okay. No relation to Richard Nixon, I would assume.
I would doubt it very
Okay.
seriously.
Okay, well, just checking, we gotta... All right, well, we'll wish her a happy birthday for sure, Betty. Thank you for calling in.
Okay, have a good one.
Oh, you too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, so that was Anne Marie Nixon Howard celebrating birthday today. Sean?
Happy birthday to you.
Very cool, very cool. All right. Your time right now, you got about a minute to call in. We're at 8:58, about to turn 8:59 here shortly. Sean, to wrap things up, what are your plans for today other than, the grind?
Plans for today only really consist of just do work around here.
Yeah.
And then go home, eat a meal, and then, like you said, the grind.
Yep.
Call Shannon around 10
Very
before
cool.
going to bed, and then
I got to ask you something. First Friday, it's happening this Friday, and it's calling for rain and thunderstorms, and it's going to be wet. Now, Sean?
yes.
Last First Friday, you have a little... well, we don't have to get into it, but you remember what happened, and, will you be coming out to this First Friday?
Possibly.
Showers likely and possible thunderstorms after 2 p.m. I think it starts at 4. So...
Yeah, I'm gonna say possibly. If
Okay.
if it's looking too bad around that time, then I'm probably gonna
Bail.
sit it out.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks, Sean, for sitting in. This was the Call Flow Radio Show. Appreciate everybody's calls today, and we'll be back tomorrow. Thank you.